You don't have to lie to me.
It's not lying.
What is it?
It's looking at things another way.
This video contains important spoilers for Wicked, for Good, 2025. Click off the video if you don't want to be spoiled. You've been warned. Ah yes, the line that was said by Fiyero to Elphaba during this newest version of Elaine, aka As Long As You, Remind, as build-up for his verse of the song before they sing together, and more importantly by Elphaba to Fiyero in the end of the movie, and that most people, and especially almost everyone in the Wicked fandom who are fans of the musical, and also, especially the Jelfie shippers, old and new, that actually watched this movie and Act 2 of the Broadway musical thinks that is so backhanded and is so forced, calling it a very backhanded compliment, actually thinking that Fiyero is literally calling Elphaba ugly for having a different way of seeing her. So right after Wicked, For Good was released in theaters back in November 2025 and was on digital, DVD, and Blu-ray and started streaming on Peacock back in March 2026. I always been noticing that people, especially people who are actually relatively new to the two-part Wicked movie series, who actually watched the second movie, like I was at the time before I loved both movies after their theatrical releases in 2024 and 2025 aka last year respectively, and watched the love scene between Elphaba and Fiyero, aka the moment where Elphaba shares a part of herself that she hasn't really given to anyone, and sharing that vulnerable side of her that she's afraid of. Yeah. I have to quote what Cynthia Erivo, I have to give her special props and a special shout out in this video because she has been doing a very emotional and phenomenal job as Elphaba, since her version of Elphaba is my favorite version of the character. In general, the actress who plays Elphaba in both of the Wicked movies perfectly says in a podcast, talking about and perfectly describes the journey that Elphaba goes through in order to be loved in the movies, and more importantly, in the second movie, especially when she goes from thinking and always believing that she doesn't deserve to be loved by anyone because of everything she's been through throughout her entire life, since birth and even childhood, to finally experiencing and receiving real unconditional love through the only other person, Fiyero, who cares deeply for and loves her for who she truly is as a person and fully sees her in a different light than the rest of us fully sees in her, as his own way of essentially telling her right in the middle of their love duet in the second movie that, I personally don't care about what everyone else thinks about you because I actually don't see you the way that everyone else and the world thinks of you, and I have stopped looking at the world the way I was taught. Because of that, I can see how beautiful you truly are, so you are beautiful to me, not to them, but to me, and that reason alone. And Cynthia Erivo's words about this scene and Elphaba's vulnerability during this version of As Long As You're Mine in any other interview that she was in, talking about her own character in Wicked, For Good, is what actually led me to make this video essay. And this will not just be a video essay and analysis on this topic about this line, this will be a video defending this line in this version and Fiyero's words in this version of the song, because I've seen a lot of people and even Fiyero shippers and fans, old and new, of their love story in the musical and in the movies defending this very important line, and Fiyero for telling Elphaba this and trying to convince the poor girl in this scene, because after all, she's in her lowest. Her fears are actually exposed and laid bare, and she's now in her most vulnerable besides no good deed, which unfortunately happens later on and right after this happy little moment that Elphaba shares with Fiyero. And I decided, why don't I join in on this? Since I have briefly defended this line in one of my shorts about this part especially being my favorite part of Cynthia Erivo and Jonathan Bailey's version of the song, that I have uploaded after watching the movie in theaters that just reached over 100,000 views at the time of making this video and this script, and I suggest you should go watch it after watching this video. And if you don't believe or understand anything I am actually personally saying and not talking it into context in this video. That's very much because I am both only stating very personal and very complex facts about what Fiyero says to Elphaba in this scene, and this line will be more important for Elphaba until the end of the movie, where she tells him the same exact thing now, that she has now accepted Fiyero's love for her when they were reunited with each other in Kayamiko after he… Spoiler warning, the Scarecrow finds her in the trapdoor and is still alive after faking her own death and melting by Dorothy's hands, and upon seeing him in this new form still alive, though he actually thinks that she doesn't want him anymore and doesn't love or want to be with him now that he is literally a man made out of straw, no longer human and no longer the handsome prince that she knew, who always has that handsome face that everyone would fall in love with because of his facade. But luckily for him, she still loves him and even cries in tears of joy. That alone makes me cry for her, because she is finally being happy for once in her life, upon seeing him still alive and truly hers, now that she has now sacrificed everything for herself and for love.